Now that my website is up, I want to make sure that it gets a good score from Google for accessibility and performance. So I'm going to head over to PageSpeed Insights, which is at pagespeed.web.dev. Let me just click this so you can see the home page. Enter a web page URL. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into here. And this will run for a minute, and then I will get a score for mobile and desktop. And here's what I get. I get 82, 84, 100, SC 82, and then pretty similar scores with slightly better performance on desktop. So let me go to mobile, and let me just pick a couple things that might be low-hanging fruit. So if I scroll down a little bit, total blocking time, 430 milliseconds. First contentful paint, 2.4 seconds. So let's see what's causing this. So reduce the impact of third-party code. And that's Google Tag Manager. That's just a fact of life that it's going to slow things down. So I'm just going to ignore that. Google Tag Manager is just going to slow me down, and I accept that for what it gives me. And I also don't think it's enough that it's going to send people away from my website or whatever. Eliminate render blocking resources. Also, you have to have traffic going to your site before you can lose them due to slowness. Eliminate render blocking resources. So that's the font family. I think I'm actually going to do a separate family or separate video showing how to have those on your website instead of Google. And I'll see if that actually helps. And it might not even help. But I'm not going to do anything for it in this video. Reduce unused JavaScript. That's Google Tag Manager. Largest content paint element. It says 2.8 seconds. I don't know about that. I mean, this thing is literally like 31 KB. And this is one of those metrics that might change every time you load it. So I'm really not too worried about my hero image slowing everything down. But one thing that I could try to do is I could make it like an inline SVG instead of a file. That could potentially make it slightly faster, but I doubt it. Okay, and here is some low-hanging fruit. It wants the images to have an explicit width and height. So this is on mobile. So what I can quick do is I can come in here. Let me change this to mobile. And what's the first one it talks about is my logo. So let me look at the logo, and this is an image. And if I hover over this image, I'm going to get out of. And if I hover over this image right here, I can see that the intrinsic size is 300 by 141. So I can add that. So let me find that image in my code. So here is that image that's up in my header. And I'm going to add width and height properties. So it was 300, height 141. Okay, and then one important thing is if you are going to add those, make sure you have the CSS to override it. So I have width is 100% by default on all my images, and then I also have height equals auto. And I believe if you don't have that height equals auto, this might screw up the aspect ratio of it, and it might be super wide, but then super short. So just keep that in mind. You need to set the width and height properties with your CSS, otherwise this might screw it up. And I can go through and do that for the rest of my images. I'm going to put this on pause. I showed you how to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and update that and see how much of a difference it makes on my score. So I'll update that on all the images, add the width and height, and then we'll see how much that actually impacts the score. Then another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add loading equals lazy to anything that is below the fold. So anything that the user wouldn't see without scrolling. So I will not make you watch me do that to all of them. Okay, so I went ahead and did that. So I'm going to git commit image optimization. Oh, I need to add a M. I think I did the exact same thing last commit. Git commit dash M. I'm totally a developer. Okay. Git push dash U origin main. And let's wait for Vercel to complete pushing that out. And I see my commit message right here 1 minute ago. So let's run this again. Let's see what I had before. So I had 82 before, and now I updated those image attributes. And let's see if this makes any difference whatsoever. Hey, and we got an 88. So just for a sanity check, I'm going to run it again. So I got an 84 last time. And did it just cache it? Let me start this from scratch, and let's just see if we're getting variation or if it's actually improved. Huh, getting 88 consistently. So I guess that actually made a difference. Okay, and then just to test it out, I did another thing because it was complaining about the content loading taking a long time for the hero image. So I actually just pasted the SVG inline, and I moved the class from the image over to the hero, and it looks like that has worked. Let me just try resizing it. And as you can see, resizing it, it all looks good. There might be something weird going on here. But overall, that SVG, I'm not sure why I'm getting something's going on with the margin there. But in any case, the SVG is resizing correctly. That all looks good. Yep, just how I want it. So I want to show you this too. So in my global styles on image, I did have to come in and add this height auto. So by default, the width is 100% and height is auto. Otherwise, like what I was talking about earlier, you might end up with some height issues. So let's push this out now and see where we are with the code again. And it is building, and it is done. So let's go ahead and run it again. Okay, we are at an 89 now, so getting there slowly but surely. Let's see, but it mostly hates Google Tag Manager. And look at this, largest contentful paint element is an H1. So that has to do with a font again. So we'll have to look into that. So that is all my performance stuff, which this really is just not a lot of meat on the bone here. So let's check out accessibility. And it looks like it does not like the color of my telephone number. So I'm Googling a more accessible red color, and we'll see if this one works. C3170C. Okay, so now that I changed that color, I am now getting a 100 on accessibility. So let's see why I'm getting a 91 on SEO. So confession, I am not a big SEO guy, but I think this should be pretty easy to fix. So this description that it's missing is this right here. Test your website with free SEO check. So that's the text that's missing, and here's an example of it. So meta, name, description, and then the content is what I want to appear under my web page's description. So let me go into my code and add that. So this is going to be an index HTML inside of the head tag. So let's see. So let's add another meta tag. Name equals description. Wow, I really description. And sorry if I was covering that up. Content equals I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to say content is we build websites for small businesses and websites, puppy breeders. So I'm going to save this and push it. Okay, so that has been pushed. Let's run it again and see what we get now. Okay, that's awesome. We got 3 100s. Next thing I need to do is performance. So I will address the font issue and see if that helps. So PageSpeed is saying the fonts are slowing me down, and I'm seeing this in various places. It could save me 750 milliseconds. So instead of getting it from the CDN, I'm going to see if I can put that in my files in the project itself. So I have the Poppins family. So I'm going to go to Google and download these. I'm going to get font and I'm going to download all. And when you extract it, it looks like this. So in my assets folder, I'm going to create a new folder called fonts. And inside of there, I'm going to add another folder called Poppins. And then I'm going to take these fonts. And I think I just need Poppins regular. So I'm going to drop that into here. So I got Poppins regular.ttf. Then I'm going to Google how to load it locally. And actually, if I look at the documentation on Google, self-hosting web fonts. Okay, I'm following this guide. So I've downloaded the font already, and it's a TTF. And step 2 is create a web font kit for cross-browsing. So let me open this in a new tab. And I'm going to upload the font. And it's from Google, so I can honestly click yes here. Okay, and here's what I got. So I'm going to extract this. And so this is what I got. So I actually need to put these in that same folder I loaded everything earlier. And then if I look at this guide, I can see that it actually gives me the code that I need to use. So if I copy this and I go into my global style sheet, where are you, global styles? Global styles. Okay. And I'm going to do it right at the top. And then I need to change the URL here. So this is actually going to be assets, fonts, Poppins. And let's see, where is the example? Because I actually just overwrote what I did earlier. So it needs to be the web font WAF 2. Poppins. Okay, and then I need to just copy this and paste it below here. And there we go. And so now I need to change my default font. Let's see, I had it Poppins. I'm going to change that to Poppins regular. And let's see what happens. Okay, and then it might be hard to see, but down here, so if you inspect your website and then you go to computed and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see rendered fonts and it says family name Poppins. And then it says that it's a network resource. So I know that it is getting it from the website. So actually, let me get rid of this. So this is the link. This is the Google Fonts call. So I got rid of that. And this is on my local server right now. So let's push this out. And I'm going to open it on my iPhone since I know that does not have the font installed in it. I do have it on my computer, and we'll see what happens. And then we'll also see if this has actually changed the performance score. So I committed that, and I'm pushing it. Vercel is building it, and it's done. So I'm going to run PageSpeed Insights. So we got 84 Let's see what happens. Holy cow. That actually made a difference. Got a 97 now. And just to make sure I'm not loading it from my computer, I'm going to uninstall Poppins. And Poppins is gone. I had to close my preview. So let me load it on my computer again. And let's see. So if I inspect this and I look at this right here and move all the way to the right, the bottom, font family Poppins. And it's a network resource, 31 glyphs. So I uninstalled the font from my computer. So I know that this is coming from online. And it looks like it is looking good. So I think we are all set for changing the fonts. Let me just analyze this again. Now I get an 84. And if I run it again, now I get a 97. So it seems like it really did help out. Seems like you'll also just get different scores sometimes, which it does say that on PageSpeed Insights, and it says 100 is probably not likely. So I want to try one more thing. I want to try, well, let's see what we got on desktop already. Got 99. So on mobile, I'm going to try removing the Google script and see if that helps. So we got these Google scripts, and I'm going to temporarily get rid of these just to see if that affects the performance score. So I just push that, and I can see that it has loaded. So I'm going to analyze this again. And look at that. Getting rid of that script gave us 100. 100s across the board for performance. Pretty easy to do when your website is all text and SVGs. In any case, I'm going to add those back because I will take those 3 points of performance hits so that I can see exactly how few people are coming to my website. I want to know for a fact that I'm averaging 1 user per week. That is most likely a bot. In any case, thank you for watching my video. I hope it was informative.